Many cultures throughout civilization have a history of oral storytelling to pass significant facts of their culture from one generation to another. And that's basically the way I heard about the first chiropractic adjustment. Hello, it's the Wellness Doctor, Dr. Jeffrey Clark from Marketplace Chiropractic Wellness Center. And September 18th, 1895 is the first recorded chiropractic adjustment. Now, spinal manipulation, it's been around for millennia. We see representations in cave drawings of people being manipulated by others. We see in the writings of the ancient Greeks about how to do certain manipulations of the spine. In fact, Hippocrates, the father of modern medicine, he's the one that said, above all, do no harm. I think a few people need to listen to that these days. Hippocrates said, look closely to the spine as the requisite for all disease. So he knew what he was talking about. 1885, Andrew Still created osteopathy, and he said we're going to manipulate the spine because the blood and the vigors of the body can become stagnant. And he probably had some successes roundabout because he was affecting the nervous system, but not because the blood was stagnant. D.D. Palmer probably borrowed some of this research. Now, D.D. Palmer is known as the father of chiropractic, or the founder of chiropractic, and September 18th is called Chiropractic Founders Day. So Daniel David Palmer was a former fish peddler. How's that for a fun story? And he was working as a magnetic healer. So he was working with people on their health in Davenport, Iowa, on Brady Street. And he came up with the theory that, gosh, two people can be sitting side by side, working at the same bench, eating from the same table. One person is sick and one person is healthy. So if it were the germ theory, that certainly wouldn't be effective because they'd both be sick if it was based on germs. And remember, the germ theory was just getting its start in the late 1800s, and so everybody was believing that, except Dede. Dede said, I think the nervous system is the master control system. And boy, was he right. So Dede says, if there's stress on the nervous system, it can't function properly. But how would there be stress on the nervous system? Well, about this time, his janitor wanders in, and they strike up a conversation. Now, his janitor was named Harvey Lillard. He's the janitor of the building on Brady Street, and Harvey was nearly completely deaf. He couldn't hear the clatter of the wagon wheels on the cobblestone streets right below them. And Harvey was telling Dede about how he became deaf. He was cleaning under a staircase and was hunched over and bending and sweeping, and he felt a pop in the base of his neck. And shortly after that, he lost his hearing, or nearly most of his hearing. You had to shout at him and look straight at him to see get him to hear you. And so Dede said, do you mind if I feel the part of your neck you felt the pop in? And he felt, and he said, boy, Harvey, this bone is out of place. Would it be okay if I racked it back into place? And for some unknown reason, Harvey said, yeah, sure, Dede, that sounds great. And so Dede gave the first adjustment. And he did it by hand, and there was a nice audible click, and within a short period of time, Harvey actually got his hearing back. And Dede said, well, this is phenomenal. I've found the cure to deafness. So he got all these deaf people and started adjusting them. And guess what? Nobody else got their hearing back. Now, there have been accounts, case studies, where they now know in some cases of deafness, we can adjust the neck. It restores blood flow that's been pinched off in the ear. As the blood vessels open up and the ear starts to get its oxygen again, it comes back to life. So that has been documented in rare cases over the past 117 years. But Dede thought he found the cure to deafness and found out, sadly, that wasn't the case. But these people who he was adjusting all reported improvement in different parts of their health. My digestion is better. My eyesight is better. My postnasal drip is better. My sciatica is better. I have fewer headaches. My constitution is better. I'm not constipated anymore. Whatever happened to be, things were improving on these people who were getting adjusted. However, they were still deaf. But then Dede thought, you know what? I've found the cure to everything. Again, he was wrong. So chiropractic began to hone in on the science, the art, the philosophy, and put it together. And within a couple of years, they had opened the Palmer School of Chiropractic in the same little room that he was using, but they quickly outgrew that. B.J. Palmer, his son, who was 14 at the time, began to say, let's teach other people. Let's open a college, and Palmer College was opened. D.D. Palmer moved out to Portland, and he founded the college that I went to. He founded that in 1904. Harvey Lillard wound up moving out to Seattle and passed away many years later with his hearing intact in Seattle. And now here's another urban myth among chiropractors. Now B.J. Palmer, he ran the school until the late 50s. 1960, he was kind of in and out, and he passed away in 1961. Now he had a winter home down in Florida, and so the urban myth is that when Harvey Lillard passed away, that some chiropractors went to his gravesite, stole the gravestone, and took it down to B.J. Palmer's house to put in the little Palmer Chiropractic Museum. Don't know if that's true. I haven't been to his grave to investigate. But that is a fun little side note. But I wanted to share how our first chiropractic patient was an African-American janitor. D.D. Palmer gave the first adjustment to a deaf man on September 18th, 1895. So today marks the 117th anniversary. I've shared the story with you, and now you can go and share it with future generations. Again, this is the Wellness Doctor, Dr. Jeffrey Clark from Marketplace Chiropractic Wellness Center. I look forward to creating wellness in your life. Thank you, and God bless.